The United States Supreme Court just made a unanimous decision. Mexico cannot sue American gunmakers for gun violence in Mexico. All 9 justices agreed. This is a big win for gun manufacturers and gun rights supporters. The case centered on the protection of lawful commerce in Arms Act, or PLCAA, a law that shields gun makers from lawsuits when their products are misused by criminals. The court ruled that Mexico's lawsuit tried to get around this law, but American companies aren't responsible for crimes committed in another country. This decision confirms that the PLCAA is strong and that lawful businesses can't be blamed for the actions of others. Gun rights groups celebrated, calling it a huge victory for the firearms industry. The ruling sends a clear message: U.S. law protects companies that follow the rules. It also prevents foreign governments from using American courts to attack U.S. industries. The Supreme Court's unanimous agreement makes this message even stronger. The decision brings certainty for the future of the gun industry. It reinforces the principle that a company making a legal product isn't liable if someone misuses it. This idea is important not just for gun makers, but for many industries. The court's decision clarifies the law for everyone. It shows that the Supreme Court stands firmly behind the protections Congress put in place. This ruling will shape legal battles for years to come. Mexico argued that U.S. gun companies knew their guns were being trafficked to drug cartels, fueling violence. They wanted American companies to pay for the damage, claiming the companies were negligent. Mexico said gun makers ignored the illegal flow of weapons, making them partly responsible for cartel violence. If Mexico had won, it could have cost gun makers millions and even forced some out of business. But the Supreme Court disagreed, pointing to the PLCAA. The law was designed to prevent exactly this kind of lawsuit, blaming lawful businesses for crimes committed by others. The court said responsibility for crime lies with the criminal, not the manufacturer. Selling a legal product isn't a crime, and companies followed U.S. law. What happens after a legal sale, especially abroad, isn't their fault. This ruling sets a clear limit on who can be blamed for crime. It protects not just gun makers, but all industries from being held liable for others' illegal actions. The focus remains on catching criminals, not punishing businesses. The decision keeps the legal system fair and predictable. It's a strong statement about personal responsibility under U.S. law. This Supreme Court decision is a major win for the Second Amendment and American sovereignty. If Mexico had succeeded, foreign governments could use U.S. courts to challenge American rights. The court's ruling makes clear only U.S. laws made by American lawmakers apply here. Allowing foreign lawsuits would open the door to endless legal challenges against American businesses. Gun rights groups say this protects the Constitution from outside influence. The case was about more than guns. It was about who sets the rules in America. The Supreme Court's answer: U.S. laws are made and interpreted by Americans, not foreign governments. This keeps the balance of power and prevents legal chaos. The decision ensures that Congress and the courts, not other countries, decide U.S. policy. It brings stability for citizens and businesses alike. The ruling reinforces that American law is supreme within its borders. It protects the legal system from being used as a tool for foreign interests. The message is clear: American rights and laws are not up for negotiation. This decision will have lasting effects on how the U.S. handles foreign legal challenges. The Supreme Court's opinion highlighted that rifles like the AR-15 are common in the U.S. Many law-abiding citizens own them for sport or self-defense. This recognition is powerful. Now the highest court says these rifles are standard, not unusual. This could impact state laws that ban such rifles, often labeling them as assault weapons. The court's words give gun rights advocates a strong argument against these bans. The ruling supports the idea that the Second Amendment protects weapons in common use. By calling AR-15s common, the court guides lower courts on which firearms are protected. This strengthens the case against state bans and clarifies the ongoing debate. The focus shifts to whether guns are commonly owned for lawful purposes. This will shape gun laws and court battles nationwide. The Supreme Court also protected the gun rights of young adults by letting a lower court ruling stand. That ruling said 18 to 20-year-olds have the right to carry handguns in public for self-defense. Previously, many states required you to be 21 to get a handgun license. The lower court found age-based restrictions unconstitutional. If you're an adult at 18, your rights shouldn't be limited. The Supreme Court's decision not to intervene sends a strong message. Second Amendment rights apply to all legal adults. This will likely challenge similar age-based laws in other states. The move fits with the court's recent trend of expanding gun rights. It clarifies that age alone shouldn't block law-abiding adults from self-defense. This decision will influence gun policy and legal fights for years. Young Americans' rights are now more clearly protected. In a related case, a federal court limited the president's power to impose tariffs using emergency powers. The president had used the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, to set tariffs on foreign goods. The court ruled this was beyond the president's authority. Setting trade policy is mainly Congress's job. Even in emergencies, presidential power has limits. This decision clarifies the balance of power between Congress and the president. It brings stability and predictability to international trade. The ruling reminds everyone that even the president must follow the law. Congress has a key role in trade decisions, not just the executive branch. This principle is central to the American system of government. The case, though not about guns, reinforces the importance of checks and balances. Together, these court decisions strengthen constitutional rights and clarify American law. The Supreme Court is making the Second Amendment stronger, protecting common firearms and all law-abiding adults. The decision against Mexico's lawsuit protects U.S. sovereignty and American businesses from foreign legal attacks. These rulings set important examples for other industries in future cases. The courts are sending clear signals to lawmakers, lower courts, and other countries. They're defining the limits of presidential power and the reach of American law. These decisions will spark more debate, but they provide a stronger foundation for American rights. The Constitution remains the guide for the nation's laws. Legal clarity is essential for protecting freedoms and the structure of U.S. government. These rulings will shape the future of American law and rights for everyone.